Man, healthcare damn near gotta be the top 3 messiest workplaces in the fucking world. Absolutely hate working around a bunch of different women. Like, you got all these different personalities and all these different cliques and all these different characters and shit that you dealing with. I absolutely hate it.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
Is it just me, or do we all have a coworker where anytime we get an email from them, we audibly have to sigh before reading it because of the level of incompetence that they bring to the table? It's just like unfathomable. Is it just me, or I know I don't have like a single unique experience?
I think every job has that one coworker that you just gotta cuss out one time. You just gotta cuss their ass out one time, and they gonna leave you the hell alone. Like, for real. Like, stop playing with me. Like, I think every job has that one person. Like, as soon as you start working there, everybody just be like, bro, you gonna have to cuss her out like one time, and she gonna be cool. And it worked every time. Like, you come into the job, you start working at the job, you be trying to be, cordial with everybody, and then that one person try you. You like, all right, bet. So I'm gonna have to teach you the lesson that you didn't learn over and over and over again. I'm gonna cuss you out real quick and then just be done with it. And then after that, y'all be like cool as hell. Like, y'all be cool as hell after the fact. They ain't never gonna try you again, but they gonna try you to see if they can try it. But just cuss their ass out one good time and they'll leave you alone.
I was just in a break room at my job, and this coworker was in there talking about how messy another coworker is at her other job. And I was like, yeah, a few weeks ago I made a TikTok talking about how it really is your own coworker sometimes. And she was like, you made a what? And I was like, I made a TikTok. And I started telling her about what I was talking about. She was like, let me stop you right there. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And she was like, who makes TikToks anymore? And I was like, I do. She's like, I feel like I just get on TikTok, scroll, watch a few videos, and I'm off. And I'm like, okay, the fuck does that have to do with me? And she's like, I just think that TikTok is so for the young people. And she's like talking like this. And then she's looking around at my other coworkers, getting them to agree with her, and they do. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then they start saying, yeah, we use like Instagram and Facebook now, but like TikTok, that's just not it anymore. It's not the vibe. And you know what? I just stood there because I was like, I'm going to hold my tongue. I'm here to do my work, make my money, and leave. And so then they're still going on, and they're like, yeah, it's just like, it's not the vibe. And I was like, you know what? It really is your own coworker sometimes. And they look at me and they're like, huh? I was like, it really do be your own coworker sometimes. And then I get up and I walk out because you're not going to take away my peace. I'm there to make my money, pay my bills, and go about my business. I don't need to be playing around with y'all.
The day has finally come. The coworker I absolutely despise and makes my life miserable and I hate going to work to see finally quit. Like, guys, never give up. It can happen. They can quit. Like, you might think they're gonna outlast you, but don't let them win.
These are the different levels of work enemies. Level 1, you find them personally annoying or they're bad at their job, and you try to avoid spending time with them whenever you can, but they probably don't know yet that you don't like them. Level 2, you get kind of a bad vibe from them. You don't trust them, but you don't know why. And anytime you see their name pop up in Teams or Slack or your inbox, you're a little bit on edge. Level 3, they've committed some sort of injustice against you. Like, they've thrown you under the bus, gone over your head to your boss, tried to make you look bad somehow, but it's not a consistent pattern of behavior. It's like 1 or 2 isolated incidents. Level 3.5, they have not done anything to you personally, but they are the enemy of your work bestie. Okay, I don't make the rules. And level 4, they are your work nemesis. They consistently try to make you look bad, try to throw you under the bus or go after you, and you would celebrate if they got fired.
And guys, nobody realized at work, it always the older co-workers starting the most shit. It always the ones that be in their late 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, some of them 70s, be starting most shit at work. Most nosiest motherfuckers, most meanest at times. And then you sitting there beefing with them and shit. I'm like, bitch, you beefing with a 22-year-old. You're 60. Bella, Troy. What's the old person's name? Bertha. Like, really? This what we do at your age? And then the crazy part is they always want you to move up the company. Like, girl, I'm not moving up the company. I'm not doing that. No, fuck out of here. I see how y'all work me at my ass out as a the lowest employee. As you go higher, more work, and I don't want to do that. I want to actually retire at my age that I want to. You probably mad as fuck because you can't. But there's some cool older people there. It be some cool ones. Some of them be cool. The other ones you be like, alright, bitch, leave me the fuck alone. Before I really kick you in your hip, kick you right in your fucking hip, or kick you right in your fucking knee, and then that shit fucking collapse. Like, leave me alone.
Guys, I have no clue why, but people, especially the 50-year-olds, I don't know what it is about that age, but usually they're the most problematic, depressed, angry, just not good to be around people. The 50-year-olds, I'm telling you, at every workplace, especially the 50-year-old women. I don't know what it is, but it happens literally all the time. And it's actually crazy to see because they are the ones who will be involved in all the drama. And my guess is that they actually do it because they don't have much going on in their lives. And so they have to get involved in everyone else's life and just be so involved to the point that they cause a lot of issues and drama. And they are knee deep in the gossip and all of the rumors and stuff like that.
Why do people get jobs if you're not going to fucking work it? The issue is, so I'm on my 30-minute lunch break right now. I had to take my lunch break short, and I'm gonna have to cut it short because I have this older lady that is on my area. I'm on self-checkout, and she's on a regular cashier. So when I go on lunch, she's supposed to log off of her register and come cover self-checkout. She did not want to do that. She just kept standing in her area. I'm like, hey, I've got to go, because you leave at 7. If you're not over here, I can't get to the break room in time, clock out, go out to my car, take my 30-minute break, and then come back in so you can leave on time. Oh, but she can't stay longer than 7, so I have to make sure I'm back in there by 7. Which is, I don't mind her having to leave at 7, but if you want to leave at 7, make sure I take my break on time. Don't delay me taking my break because you're chit-chatting with other coworkers about what you're doing or all this other stuff. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care what you're doing this weekend. I don't care what you're doing next week. If it is my time to go, let me go. Don't just keep chit-chatting and being like, well, I've been here forever. I don't feel like doing that. I don't care how long you've been there for. I don't care how long you've been employed. I don't care on any of that. You don't clean. You don't work. You don't talk to customers. You don't want to help anyone else. You want to be like, oh, you've got a line forming over there even though you're assisting someone else. You're not doing anything. Get up off your ass and go do something else. Why is it always our responsibility to cover everyone else, but you get to sit there on your ass being like, oh, I don't want to. No, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go to customer service. I don't want to go to lumber. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do self-checkout. We don't want to do a lot of shit. We do it because we are getting paid for a job. You're probably making more than us because you've been here longer, which is fine. But do some at least bare minimum shit. Don't just keep standing there being like, I don't feel like doing it. We don't care. We want to get our shit done and get out. We want to get our shit done and get to the next task. We don't want to service 10 customers on checking them out, and you do one because you're going to stand there forever and be like, oh, I've got to individually enter this in, instead of just scanning it with the barcode gun. Why not just do that? Why do you have to prolong it? Because you don't want to move on to the next customer. We have customers getting aggravated because I can't take checks at self-checkout, and you've got only one person there, and you're chit-chatting with them about what they're going to do with their items they're buying. Let the person go. Let them check out so other people can use your aisle. Other people can use you as a checkout. Stop delaying it so you don't have to do a lot and everyone else has to pick up the slack. I think that's the most stupidest thing ever. And then everyone's like, oh, she's been here forever. Oh, this or that. There was a point when we had 4 people in the main line, which there's only 2 people checkouts and then the rest are self-checkouts. One person mans the self-checkout and then you've got one on each one of the the people mainline ones. We did not need her for the 4th. She just wanted to stand there and chit-chat. She didn't want to go clean the break room. She didn't want to go to the trash. She didn't want to get carts. She didn't want to put the carts over where they needed to go, return any of the items that we had to return. She just wanted to stand there and talk. And everyone's like, well, she's been here forever, blah, blah, blah. I don't care how long she's been there. Make her fucking do her job. We have to do our job. Why can't she?
I actually used to work with this girl who always worked 12-hour shifts. And at times she worked about 16 hours as well. And so overall, she worked about 80 to 100 hours per week. but at least 4 to 6 hours of her shift, she'll be sleeping during the shift. And we spoke to all of the higher ups, and the only reason why she did not get fired was because she was related to both of the supervisors. That was the only reason why. And she was there for months. She actually worked there before me. I think she worked there for about a year or something. She was earning all of this money, but she was not working her full shifts. A lot of the time she was sleeping. And I got so pissed off, about a third of her shift, she would literally be sleeping. And at times she would go to the bathroom for about 2 to 4 hours just to sleep, just so she wouldn't get caught. And I got so pissed off, like, okay, are you guys not going to fire this person? This person has been sleeping on their shift for years now. Like, work less hours if you cannot stay up and do your job during that shift. If you cannot handle the hours, do not work those many hours. You're just greedy and you want all of the money. And clearly, your body is telling you that you are working way too much and you cannot handle those work hours. So reduce the hours. I think that she still works at that job. And she still works like 12 hours per day. And I think she only gets 1 day off or something like that. So she's working about 72 hours per week at least. And she cannot handle the hours. And she's probably still hiding in the bathrooms and just collecting free money pretty much. Lazy coworkers, I'm telling you. If you cannot handle the hours, work less hours and actually work.
Have you ever worked with an employee that no matter how you approach them, no matter how you word the question, the scenario, whatever it is that you're going over there to talk to them about or ask them, no matter how you word it, they just come off super unprofessional. Like, they just are not able to communicate properly. They're negative. They almost seem a little bit nasty. Like, they're just not very like good people when it comes to the way that they communicate. And you almost think to yourself, how do you still have a job here? Because a lot of times this employee is also disrespecting their managers in those meetings. Like, they're challenging them in a very disrespectful way. There's a way to kind of challenge management that's like healthy, and it's good for, you know, you to challenge your management team. But the way that they seem to do it comes off super rude, and everybody's usually like a little bit shocked. Like, every time they do it, everyone's like a little bit quiet and they're like, okay, this is weird, this is awkward, because it seems tense. And you're just wondering, how do you still have a job here? Like, and then everybody that you talk to that either has encountered this person or has had to work with these individuals never has anything positive to say. So you know it's not like a you thing, it's a them thing. Like, I think being around this kind of employee can be so mentally draining and exhausting.
So for today's terrible job story, because for some reason every couple months I always have one, I don't know, job market is trash. So my ass got hired at Amazon, everyone's favorite terrible place to work, and I didn't last there a day, y'all. Like, I was there a day, I never came back. So right off the bat, when I got in the building, right, okay, I was supposed to be there at like 7:30. I was there like 7:20, right? I was there early. So I'm walking up to the little building that I have to be in, right? As soon as I get in this bitch, the security guard gonna turn me around because I got AirPods like on my keychain, and they tell me I can't have these in here. So I have to walk all the way back to my car. Mind you, I didn't park close because like it's crowded as hell. Like, everybody and they fucking mama work at Amazon. So I had to walk like 5 minutes back to my car. So whatever, I put my AirPods back in the car and I go back in. And I get to the classroom like we gonna be in. So our learning was supposed to start at 7:30, right? Supposed to be there at 7:30. The lady who was like supposed to be like teaching us didn't get there till like 8:30. It turns out she wasn't even supposed to be there. She was there on overtime. And when she got there, the computers weren't working. So we really didn't start learning until like 9:30, okay? On top of that, like, when we took the tour, I found out like what floors I was gonna be working on. And why do they not let you use the elevators? You have to take the stairs. And like, I don't mind taking stairs. I actually really don't care for elevators, but like, them stairs were steep. Like, it was too much. On top of that, you don't know what floor you're going to be working on for that day, like, until you come in. So all of that, on top of the fact that I really was not, and I'm still like recovering from like not a very good time in my life, I didn't come back. I clocked out after we finished for the day, and yeah, I did not go back. And I got another job now, like actually doing something related to what I went to school for. So the universe, I guess.
And I'ma just say this.
Healthcare professionals are some of the most miserable people I've ever had the displeasure of working with. I don't care. Them RNs, them damn nurse practitioners, y'all are some of the most miserable people I've ever had the displeasure of working with. And don't get in my comments being dense talking about some, oh, well, it's not every nurse. Obviously, I know that. I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking to the ones who get into this helping profession and don't like helping people. You don't like people. And you don't have to like people to treat them with some level of respect and kindness. Especially if you're a healthcare professional working with disadvantaged populations. Oh, y'all are some of the worst. I've been working in the social services industry for years. I have worked in several healthcare settings, currently working in one right now. And even when I wasn't working in a healthcare setting, oftentimes you have to work with other agencies and you work with healthcare professionals who service your clients. And I will never understand why y'all get into this profession and y'all treat these people with such lack of respect. You act like you don't want to be there. You act like you don't want to help them. Just generally unkind, miserable people, not just to the clients, but to the co-workers. For some reason, if it's not somebody that's in like your bubble, like your healthcare professional bubble, like I work in a situation where it's healthcare professionals, but it's also social service workers. And what's your beef? I don't get it. I said what I said, man. Like, stop getting into these professions to act like that, to treat people like that. Nobody told you to be here. Literally, you could have done anything else. It's annoying. Signed, a social service worker who actually gives a damn about the people I'm serving.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
From my experience, there is nobody that has the worst customer service skills than the little baddie shorties that be working these little, like, mediocre everyday jobs that, interact with people. I go into some of these establishments and they so cute with their hair done, their lashes done, nails done, everything. I go in there and I'm like, hi, how are you? Hi. Well, okay, well, I'm just looking for this, that, and the third. It's an aisle down there. Okay. Thanks for your help. I honestly just be laughing because I worked in retail and dealing with people on an everyday basis will bring out a different side to you. But don't take it out on me. I just come in here and just try to go on with my life. Stepping stones, baby girl. It's a stepping stone. You're going to be all right.
They hate it there, and they think that they are way too pretty. They really think that because of their beauty, they deserve the best of the best. And reality hits them and brings them back down to earth and says, no, you know what? You only get the job that you are qualified for. And a lot of times, most of these girls, they're only qualified for minimum wage jobs. And so they stay there.
Work ethic does not exist anymore. People think this is a new thing. Let me remind you, in 2016, I got like my first actual job. I was about 19 and a half and I had goals, right? And then at 20, I became a supervisor at my old job, which was very traumatizing and dehumanizing, all right? And plus, I was a very hard worker. So because of being a hard worker, I was taken advantage of a lot. And you're not really respected by the higher ups or the people that you work with. Maybe to an extent if you're lucky. But I don't think this whole thing of like people losing their work ethic is a new thing, because I was younger than most people in my department that I worked for. And a lot of them would call out, would never fucking show up, would always call out sick, whatever. Whatever it was. Or my personal favorite, being a shitty person and just being difficult to work with, okay? I don't know what the answer is. Most jobs suck ass, and most places you're going to work at suck because you got people that are, will use you for your time even when other people do not show up for work. You're going to be a liability for them, so they're going to use you for that until you burn out. And just a reminder that if you quit this job or get burnt out from this job, they're going to find somebody else to do it. Yeah, they're not going to be as great as you were at it, but they're still going to move on and life goes on. So the question is, what do you do in this crazy economy? I guess try to figure out another way to make money, because most of these jobs suck, asshole, and they pay dirt, all right? And it's hard out here. I don't know what the answer is, but yeah.
You're allowed to be really bad at your job these days, and that's because mediocrity isn't just tolerated, it is sanctioned. And that is in large part because of the preponderance of bullshit jobs. Paraphrasing, a bullshit job is one that shouldn't really exist, and the subgroup that I'm talking about right now is one where it's one legitimate job that's basically split up amongst 10 people, so each person has a tiny task that really should not constitute its own career. And you're seeing this with terrible service, and I don't really mean like waiters, it's more white collar jobs. It's a lot of lazy girl jobs. Men and women alike have zero problem solving capability. Let me give you an example. I use this home swapping service, and I'm not going to plug it because it's really a nightmare, but I put up with the crappiness of this platform and its service because it does match me with people who have houses in places that I want to go. What I've learned though is that is its sole function, and even though they arrange the cleaner for you, and even though they should like facilitate problems when you have a problem guest, the person who has the job to help you when you can't get into the apartment or something goes wrong or the maid didn't come and they were supposed to come, there's no one on the other end of the chat. It's up to you to solve it, and I know now that when I get to the home and there's no AC, even though AC was part of the amenities listed, don't bother saying anything. The person who has the job to fix those complaints and help you rectify the situation, they are not there to do their job. Similar job and role are these dime a dozen PR firms. They have really high turnover. The people that work there do not envision this as their real career. One was assigned to me for my book, and it's basically these autopilot jobs. As with the home swapping service, they tell me what's supposed to happen, but they never take any steps to ensure that it actually does happen. So the PR team is sending me emails and saying, the marketing person from your team will be at the event tonight, and she's going to come with a big blow-up poster and an easel to put the poster on. And I know this is not true. I know that's not happening. I know that's what's supposed to happen, but they have not talked to the marketing person. But instead of saying, no, she already told me that she's not coming, I just say, okay, great, thanks, sounds good. Because it doesn't do any good to call out someone who is intent on doing the absolute bare minimum.
Yo, people were dead ass, like seriously. They will really tell on you at work, get you rolled up, get you in trouble, and then speak to you. Like, when I tell you that shit is, and I think that shit is so sick to me, and then be mad at the fact that you don't want to talk to them. I would never talk to you. I'm sorry. Once you tell on me at work, I would never fuck with you, ever.
It's funny how jobs actually never realize that their processes suck and they're not actually efficient at all. Because tell me if you've heard this before. Somebody else is brand new at a job, or let's say you're brand new at the job, and either you're training or they're training, and say, hey, this isn't how you're supposed to do it, but this is how I do it. I've had this moment recently and in the past for every single job I ever worked. Usually it's when I'm training somebody. I think maybe I just don't follow the rules as well. It's completely possible because I think I've heard it less than I've said it. But I recently was training somebody. I was like, hey man, like I know we have the 16 or 18 step process on how they want us to do things. That junk don't really work that well. It's not going to close the rate they want you to close at. You got to be able to adapt, and this is how I do the process. And I took them to like, okay, you know what? Like you could tell them, like just tell them I do it or whatever. But if you want to be successful, you probably want to do a mixture between what they say and what I say. And I think that comes down to the thing that, or the, I guess, idea that most businesses don't adapt their processes over time. Like it may have worked at its inception, but down the line when like things adapt and people adapt and even like technology adapts, they never change them to keep up with the times, so they no longer work the way it's supposed to work.
In any type of work environment that you work in, you do have to adapt. Guys, things happen all the time in the workplace. Things go wrong all the time. A lot of the times they malfunction or they don't work in the right way, and so you have to adapt with the times. Work is not static. It is dynamic, and you have to adapt accordingly, depending on the work environment that you actually work in.
Tell me something that you've done at work that you should have been fired for and you were not. Because, boy, do I have a story for you. It's absolutely terrible, mate. I should have gotten not only fired, but arrested because it was a social injustice, honestly. So, essentially, I've worked in coffee shops my entire adulthood, pretty much. And my first coffee shop that I worked at, I figured out that I was really good at accents. I can do them pretty decently. So my second customer service job, I was like, I'm gonna spice this up. And I did, baby. For 4 months, I convinced everybody that I was Australian. Yeah, I did that. And it was honestly the best time of my life. Like, it was so cool. Like, I was living my little aquamarine fantasy. A little bit mysterious, but definitely Australian. You know, could be a mermaid. Who knows? Don't give me the water. Like, it was so fun. And I did this for months. Like, customers were coming in. They were like, oh my God, where are you from? And I fully had a whole backstory. Oh, I'm from Brisbane. Moved here 9 years ago. Go to uni here. My dad owns a fiber company. Like, I had the whole thing. And I just kept it up. I was committed, baby. I I can't give it up, right? And I went along with it. Well, the fun stopped being fun because of the, you want to take a guess? The Australian fires. Yep. Yeah. So people were coming in and they were like, is your family okay? I do. What was I going to do? Literally, like, everyone knew me as the Australian girl. Like, people were going around telling other people, like, have you seen that Australian girl at that one coffee shop? You need to go see her accent's so cool. She's so funny. Like, I can't, like, it wasn't just like, I was kidding, Jennifer. I was only doing that for a week. Like, 4 months! So, what do I do? I'm committed, right? It's really hard right now, Jennifer. My family's fine. It's just, it's absolute destruction over there. $20 in the tip jar. Yeah. Capitalized off of mass destruction. Oh, made money off of deaths. Yeah. I did that. And I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't get fired for it for some freaking reason. And if I could have donated all that tip jar money to the cause, I would have. But it was a shared tip jar. It was a little bit impossible to just be like, hey guys, I'm doing something wrong here. Because they thought I was Australian too. So like, anyway.
Bro, I'm telling you, no matter how bad the job market gets, never work for a job that didn't give you an interview and you just get a start date. Me and all my friends a couple years ago, we were trying to go on a summer trip. So we all applied to UPS. That was mistake number 1. Mistake number 2, no interview. They all sent us the exact same orientation date the next week. Everyone was happy. We thought we were going to Japan. Little did we know, bro. We hop in, we get to orientation. Orientation is usually at least 1 day, right? I swear to God, we watched 2 hours worth of video and they put us in a truck. Wallahi, I have never worked that hard in my life. Yo, they put me in a whole truck by myself. I watched the video of safety. I put on my steel-toed boots. I was moving furniture and TVs and whatever was in that heavy-ass trailer. Wallahi, I applied with 6 people or in my orientation room. None of them ever came back again after that day. Moral of the story, bro. However bad you think your life is as you're unemployed, I swear to God, it'll get a lot worse at UPS or Amazon.
What I don't understand is why it takes North Alabama Electric Fiber Co-op to freaking 10 years to get to my house to fix my internet knowing I work from home. I called them at 9 o'clock this morning telling them that something was wrong with my box. Still ain't here. Here it is 6 o'clock now. Done went to their place of work. Already called them 3 times. They keep telling me, oh, we're in Bridgeport. We're on our way. We'll be there in a few minutes. 10 hours later, here I am still sitting down here on the switch. No Wi-Fi, no nothing. Nothing to do, bored, work from home. Dakota been at work all day, nobody to talk to. Man, these kids done clean this whole house. This whole house clean, spotless. Hence, I look like shit and I'm sweaty. Done gave both dogs a bath. Yeah, I got some stuff done that needed to be done, a whole lot of laundry and bullshit. But I need to watch Once Upon a Time. I need to post my 20 times a day. There's so much I need to do that revolves internet for them to be bullshitting. So North Alabama Electric Fiber, y'all suck. Sick of your bullshit. This is consistent behavior out of you guys. Somebody needs to learn how to do their job. That's why businesses around here do not thrive anymore, because all y'all lazy, deadbeat, broke motherfuckers don't want to get off your ass and actually get paid.
I have noticed that over the years, people's work ethic has actually gone downhill. They don't really care to do a good job anymore. They don't really care to take pride in their work. Regardless of your job title, actually take pride in your work. Be proud of the work that you do. Be proud of where you work at, what company you work for, what job you do. Like, be proud of those things. Even if it's the worst of the worst of the worst job, at least you have a job. A lot of people right now, they do not even have a job. At least you are earning an income. It may not be the best pay for exactly what you do or what you are worth, but at least you have a pay coming in every single week, or every single 2 weeks, or every single month. At least do a good job.
The next time you beat yourself up for not being good at your job, not being perfect at your job, I want you to remember that there are people at your company who are so shit. Like, so shit at what they do. Stop beating yourself up. There is someone much more average, much more shit even than you, who's not being self-critical. If you're being self-critical, it's actually a sign you're pretty good at your job. People who are bad at their jobs are not self-critical.
Alright, y'all, so I just got some Culvers, and I didn't want to give this specific location my money because I used to work here and it was literally a slave shop. But I'm about to tell y'all about that, so let's go ahead. When I started working at Culvers, I was freshly out of high school, and I was like, you know what, it's exciting. It was a new building. They just built it in Florida, and I was like, you know what, this is gonna be exciting. So I started working here and everything, and when I tell y'all, they made it seem so good, but as soon as I started like actually working, the first thing that they had us doing was, when you have to bring out the food, they make you run to bring out the food to the cars. Like, somebody got their foot ran over. Didn't press charges or nothing. Me, I would press charges. But their foot got ran over, and they still proceeded to make us run. And I told them I had asthma and everything. And what I would do is I would just show them my asthma pump every time they would go on the camera and tell me to run. But it was weird, like very weird. Then on top of that, they used to tell like the minors and everybody like, oh, y'all not gonna be nobody in life. They used to scream at them if they weren't running fast enough. And it's just like, who would want their food shaken up in a bag? You know what I mean? Like, running to give them their food isn't gonna change the fact that, like, it's not gonna change anything. They're still gonna get their food in a meaningful time. So it's like, why do we have to run to give the food to the customers? Oh my gosh, I remember I called out one time. This was the first and last time I called out. And it was because I had to babysit my little sister. Why did they tell me, oh, can't you leave her at home by herself? And I told them the age. She was like 3, 4 at the time. They were like, can't you just leave her at home for a few hours and close the store and then you could go back home? I was like, fuck no, that's my little sister. Why would I leave a 3, 4-year-old at home by herself? I should have sued, but I didn't. What's even more crazy is the fact that, like, I remember I was 1 minute late because I had hit a pothole. This was with my last car, and I had hit a pothole and my tire was flat, so I had to stop at a gas station to fill it up at Wawa to get like air in my tire. And they screamed at me because I was 1 minute late, and I was just like, what the heck is the problem? Like, 1 minute? I thought you get a grace period at a job in like 1 minute. And mind you, it wasn't even a full minute because I walked in the building and they asked me, they was like, Rayshawn, what's the time on the clock? Mind you, it said, I think it was like 10:30 or whatever. It said 10:30. But as soon as I walked over there to the thing, it said 10:31. And he was like, you're late. If you're late again, we got a whole bunch of applicants that want to work here. We're not going to cut out for this and that. And they was like basically telling me I'm never going to be nothing in life. And look at me now. Something amazing, living my best life. So cheers to that. I'm still eating their food. This is the last time probably. I don't come over here often. I just got a haircut. Y'all can see the haircut. Man, I was hungry, but they don't get my money often at all. The only reason I worked there for so long was because the food was good. That's it. So I let them slave me for a little bit just because I could get a double patty with some bacon on it and some barbecue sauce. But that was it. The job was tragic, horrible. Don't work at Culver's.
My friend was telling me a story today about how evil their boss is, and they were going on and on with their little tale, and I was active listening. And what I learned from active listening is that they are actually just bad at their job. But of course I'm not allowed to say that, so I'm listening and I'm like nodding. I'm nodding so much, and I'm like, you know what? Literally.
There are some employees that are actually not good employees whatsoever. All they do is sit there, complain about the leadership, the management, and actually they themselves, they are probably lazy, they're probably entitled, they don't actually want to do the work, and their form of escapism is to actually complain about the higher ups, the managers, the supervisors, and everybody involved. And it is only a form of redirection from their lack of being a good worker and that poor quality of work onto the higher ups. I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.